Stop scrolling right now, because the penny sitting forgotten in your house tonight could secretly be one of the most valuable wheat pennies still hiding in America. And I'm not talking about ordinary pocket change. I'm talking about tiny copper treasures that collectors are desperately hunting right now. Coins with strange colors, dark layers, mysterious spots, rare surfaces, and historic details so powerful that their values are shocking the coin market. Most people see an old penny and ignore it forever. That's exactly why today's video is so important. Because on today's countdown, we are revealing 5 ultra-rare and incredibly valuable wheat pennies that are creating massive excitement across the United States collector market right now. These are not fantasy coins. These are real historical treasures with appearances that serious collectors pay attention to immediately. And trust me, once you see coin number 1, you will never look at old pennies the same way again. One of the coins on today's list survived from the early 1920 EA. Another carries the powerful history of wartime America. And one final wheat penny has such a mysterious appearance that collectors become obsessed the moment they see it under proper light. The market for rare wheat pennies is getting hotter every single year. Prices continue climbing, collectors continue searching, and hidden discoveries are still happening inside old jars, family collections, estate boxes, and forgotten drawers all across America. So before you spend another penny, before you throw away that old coin collection, watch this video until the very end, because one tiny detail could reveal a hidden copper treasure worth an unbelievable amount in today's market. Now, let's begin. Coin number 1. The 1936 wheat penny without a mint mark is one of those coins that instantly creates excitement the moment a serious collector sees it under proper light. At first glance, it may look like a normal old penny from the Great Depression era, but hidden inside its aged surface is a level of historical power that modern collectors cannot ignore anymore. The moment this penny is placed into a collector's hand, the first thing noticed is the rich vintage appearance. The warm brown surface creates that classic old American treasure feeling collectors dream about. Then the darker black spotting on the reverse side adds an almost dramatic character to the coin. And finally, that subtle green dot effect creates even more curiosity because unusual toning patterns always attract attention in the coin market. The 1936 wheat penny belongs to one of the most beloved coin series in American history. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the wheat penny series became legendary among collectors because of its iconic wheat stalk reverse design and historic connection to early American circulation. These coins were minted primarily from copper alloy composition, giving them that beautiful aging ability over decades of storage and circulation. What makes this particular 1936 example exciting is not just its age, it is the combination of survival and eye appeal. Most coins from this era were either damaged heavily, cleaned improperly, corroded, or lost completely. But pieces showing attractive original aging with visible historical texture continue gaining stronger collector attention year after year. The demand for authentic wheat pennies has exploded across online auctions, collector groups, estate discoveries, and private coin markets throughout the United States. Collectors are no longer only searching for perfect mint state examples. Now, many buyers actively hunt for coins with distinctive appearances, original surfaces, and memorable aging patterns because these coins carry emotional historical character. This exact type of 1936 wheat penny creates that feeling. It looks like a true buried treasure from America's past. When collectors see the brown layered appearance mixed with black and green surface features, many instantly become curious about the coin's storage history, circulation journey, and originality. That emotional connection is exactly what keeps pushing collector demand higher. That is why many experienced collectors believe wheat pennies are entering an entirely new era of popularity. The current market value for this 1936 wheat penny without mint mark, showing brown layer surfaces, black dots on the reverse side, green dot appearance, beautiful look, and fine condition is around $2,500,880 in today's market, according to the value you provided for this described condition. That is not pocket change anymore. That is a serious collector treasure. And many collectors strongly believe values for special wheat pennies will continue rising over time as demand becomes more aggressive and surviving examples become harder to locate. The market for historical American coins is becoming more competitive every single year, and rare-looking wheat pennies continue attracting attention from both longtime collectors and new treasure hunters entering the hobby. If you own old jars of pennies, inherited coin boxes, estate collections, or forgotten family coin albums, now is the time to inspect every single coin carefully. Tiny details that most people ignore today could become the next major collector obsession tomorrow. Never clean an old wheat penny. Cleaning destroys natural surfaces and can reduce collector interest dramatically. Original appearance is one of the most powerful features serious buyers look for. Even unusual spots, aging patterns, and toning can become part of a coin's collectible identity. Coin number 2. The moment serious wheat penny hunters hear 1,958 without mint mark, their attention instantly sharpens, because they understand they are looking at the end of a historic American coin legacy that survived through wars, economic struggles, and generations of circulation. But this particular coin becomes even more fascinating because of its dark brown layered reverse side combined with its extra fine condition. That combination creates the exact kind of eye-catching vintage appearance that many collectors aggressively search for today. The dark brown surface gives this penny a deep historic character that bright modern coins simply cannot recreate. Under light, the reverse side carries a rich aged texture that immediately tells collectors this coin has lived through real American history. Instead of looking ordinary, it feels powerful, mysterious, almost like a hidden artifact from another era. 1958 was the final production year for the famous wheat reverse design before the United States changed the Lincoln cent forever in 1959. That means every authentic 1958 wheat penny already carries special emotional importance inside the coin collecting world. Collectors don't just see copper when they hold this coin. They see the ending of a legendary chapter in American mint history. This coin was produced during a fascinating period in American history when the country was rapidly changing. Television culture was exploding. Classic American cars filled the roads. Families were building new lives after the post-war boom. And these pennies traveled through millions of hands across the nation. Every scratch, every layer, every natural tone on surviving examples tells part of that forgotten journey. When collectors search for wheat pennies today, many are no longer only focused on perfect red mint state examples. More and more collectors are becoming fascinated by coins with dramatic natural aging and authentic vintage appearance because these coins feel real, untouched, historic. The composition of the 1958 wheat penny also adds to its appeal. Made primarily from copper alloy, these coins develop unique aging patterns over decades depending on storage conditions, humidity, circulation, and environmental exposure. No two naturally aged wheat pennies look exactly the same, which makes distinctive examples even more collectible. Now imagine this for a moment. A tiny 1-cent coin once ignored in pocket change suddenly becomes one of the most talked about historical treasures among collectors. That transformation is happening right now across the United States as more people rediscover rare wheat pennies hidden in old collections, estate boxes, inherited jars, and forgotten drawers. And the deeper collectors go into this hobby, the more they realize how difficult it is becoming to locate attractive original examples from the wheat penny era, especially final year coins like 1958. Because once collectors acquire strong-looking examples, many refuse to sell them again. That creates pressure in the market. And pressure creates excitement. And excitement creates rising value. Which brings us to the shocking part of this coin's story. The current market value for this 1958 wheat penny without mint mark, showing a dark brown layer on the reverse side and preserved in extra fine condition, is around $1,600,790 according to the value you provided for this exact described condition in today's market. That is an absolutely massive collector number for a single penny. This is no longer just loose change. This is the type of hidden copper treasure that creates serious excitement among collectors who understand the historical power behind wheat pennies. Many believe the market for these coins will continue rising as collector demand grows stronger and surviving attractive examples become more difficult to locate over time. And the truth is, many people still unknowingly spend wheat pennies every year without realizing what they could be holding. That is why experienced collectors always check dates carefully. One tiny detail can completely change everything. Here's an important collector tip that could protect the future value of your coins. Always store rare wheat pennies in dry, protective holders away from moisture and fingerprints. Natural surfaces and original aging are extremely important in today's collector market. Preserving that originality can help maintain long-term collector interest. Another powerful tip is to inspect reverse sides carefully under strong light. Sometimes the most valuable visual characteristics appear on the reverse side first. Unusual toning, darker layers, rare textures, or aging patterns that ordinary people would completely overlook. Coin number 3. Because this 1953 wheat penny with the famous D mint mark is the kind of coin that instantly grabs attention the moment collectors notice its unusual surface appearance. At first glance, many people might overlook it as just another old penny from the past, but experienced collectors understand something extremely important about coins like this. Sometimes the most unforgettable treasures are the ones carrying the strongest signs of history. And this coin carries history everywhere across its surface. The dark brown layer, the scattered brown spotting, the unusual green dots on the reverse side, the aged edges. Every part of this wheat penny tells a story of survival through decades of American life. It looks like a true hidden relic pulled straight from another era, and that powerful vintage personality is exactly what makes collectors stop and stare. This coin was minted in 1953 at the legendary Denver Mint, one of the most important coin-producing facilities in the United States. The small D mint mark beneath the date immediately connects this penny to Denver's historic production era, giving it another layer of collector interest. But unlike ordinary pennies that disappeared forever, this particular 1953 with D survived. And not only did it survive, it developed a dramatic aged appearance that many collectors now find incredibly attractive. The dark brown layering gives the coin a deep antique character that immediately feels authentic and powerful. Then those mysterious green dots on the reverse side create even more visual intrigue. Some collectors become fascinated by naturally aged toning because it creates a completely unique identity for every individual coin. No machine can recreate decades of natural aging exactly the same way. That originality matters. In today's collector market, originality is becoming one of the strongest driving forces behind demand. Collectors want coins that feel real, untouched, historic, and emotionally connected to America's past. And this 1953 with D wheat penny delivers exactly that feeling. Even the aged edges contribute to its personality. Instead of appearing lifeless or overly polished, the coin carries the rugged character of something that truly traveled through time. When held under proper lighting, the brown and green contrast creates a bold vintage appearance that instantly separates it from ordinary circulated cents. And because this coin remains in old condition while still preserving strong visual identity, it attracts collectors who appreciate historic authenticity more than artificial perfection. That trend is becoming larger every year. More collectors are now chasing coins with strong natural personalities instead of only flawless, shiny surfaces. Coins with memorable appearances often create stronger emotional reactions during auctions and private sales because they stand out immediately from the crowd. And this coin absolutely creates conversation. Collectors seeing the dark brown layering mixed with green spotting immediately begin wondering about its history. Where was it stored? How did it age this way? How many years did it survive unnoticed before being rediscovered? Those questions build emotional value around the coin. And emotional value fuels collector demand. That is one reason why rare-looking wheat pennies continue gaining momentum in today's market. Many collectors believe these historical copper treasures are becoming harder to locate every single year as more people begin holding them long-term instead of selling them. And now comes the part that shocks viewers every time. The current market value for this 1953 wheat penny with D mint mark, showing dark brown layers, brown spots, green dots on the reverse side, aged edges, and old condition, is around $1,700,800 according to the exact value you provided for this described condition in today's market. That is an astonishing number for a single 1-cent coin. This tiny piece of copper has transformed into a powerful collector treasure that many people would never expect to see hiding inside an old coin jar or forgotten collection. And many experienced collectors believe values for rare wheat pennies could continue climbing as the market becomes more competitive and surviving. Vintage examples become increasingly difficult to find. That is why serious treasure hunters never ignore old pennies anymore. Because one unusual surface, one tiny mint mark, one forgotten wheat penny, could completely change everything. Here's an important collector tip. Never attempt to scrub away dark layers, green dots, or old aging from wheat pennies. Many collectors actually prefer original historic surfaces because they preserve the coin's true identity and history. Cleaning can permanently damage collector appeal and remove the very features that make a coin memorable. Another smart strategy is checking inherited collections carefully. Some of the most exciting wheat penny discoveries happen inside old family coin jars that remained untouched for decades. Hidden treasures often appear where nobody expected them. Coin number 4. Now this is where today's treasure hunt reaches an entirely different level. Because the moment collectors hear the words 1920 wheat penny without mint mark, the atmosphere changes instantly. This is no longer just an old coin from the middle of the wheat penny era. This is a true early American survivor, a penny born more than 100 years ago, carrying the weight of history across every inch of its surface. This 1920 wheat penny has the exact type of appearance that creates excitement in today's market. The rich brown layer, the aged reverse side, the strong vintage edges, and the almost fine condition all combine to give this coin a deeply historic presence that feels absolutely unforgettable. The second you imagine this coin traveling through America in the 1920s, the story becomes incredible. This penny existed during the roaring early decades of modern America. It moved through a nation filled with rapid industrial growth, historic cultural change, crowded train stations, classic downtown businesses, and generations of Americans building a completely new future. Long before smartphones, modern technology, or digital money existed, this tiny copper coin was already moving through everyday life. And this specific example becomes even more attractive because of its original brown layering and aged reverse side appearance. The coin does not look artificial or overprocessed. Instead, it carries the authentic personality collectors dream about, the look of a true historic artifact preserved naturally over time. That kind of originality matters enormously in today's collector market. The edges of the coin also add something special. Those aged edges create a rugged antique appearance that instantly reminds collectors they are holding a genuine piece of early American circulation history. Coins with visible historic texture often create stronger emotional reactions than modern polished examples because they feel alive with history. The 1920 wheat penny belongs to one of the most iconic coin series ever created in the United States. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln wheat cent became legendary for its timeless design and historic significance. The famous wheat stalk reverse design became a symbol of classic American coin collecting itself. The brown layer on this 1920 example creates a warm, historic tone that immediately catches attention under proper lighting. Instead of appearing flat or lifeless, the coin carries depth and personality. Many experienced collectors actually prefer naturally aged copper surfaces because they preserve the true identity of the coin without removing its historical soul. And here's something many viewers don't realize. Some of the strongest collector demand today comes from coins that look genuinely historic, rather than artificially perfect. Collectors want pieces that feel connected to real American history, coins that survived decades of circulation, storage, and discovery while still maintaining visual appeal. This 1920 wheat penny delivers exactly that feeling. It feels like a hidden treasure from another world. That growing scarcity is one reason why excitement surrounding older wheat pennies continues exploding across auctions, private collections, estate discoveries, and coin communities throughout the United States. And now, here comes the shocking number everyone has been waiting for. The current market value for this 1920 wheat penny without mint mark, showing brown layering, aged reverse side edges, and preserved in almost fine condition, is around $3,600,000 according to the exact value you provided for this described condition in today's market. That is an absolutely massive treasure-level number for a single penny. A coin once worth only 1 cent has now transformed into a powerful historical collectible that collectors dream of discovering hidden inside old jars, family collections, and forgotten drawers. And according to many experienced collectors, the market for rare early wheat pennies continues strengthening as more people enter coin collecting and surviving. Vintage examples become harder to obtain. That is why people across America are now checking every old penny more carefully than ever before. Because history can hide in the smallest places. One forgotten coin, one old wheat penny, one tiny copper treasure could hold unbelievable value. Here's an important collector tip. Always store older wheat pennies in protective holders and avoid touching the surfaces directly with bare fingers. Natural oils and moisture can slowly affect original surfaces over time. Preserving originality is one of the most important things serious collectors focus on. Another smart strategy is to inspect older family collections carefully before selling or separating them. Some of the most valuable wheat pennies are discovered completely unexpectedly among ordinary-looking coins that sat untouched for decades. Coin number 5. And now, we arrive at the final coin of today's unbelievable treasure countdown. The coin that has been creating curiosity, excitement, and intense collector attention among wheat penny hunters across America. The legendary 1944 wheat penny without mint mark. At first glance, many people would completely underestimate this coin because of its dark appearance, black spotting, aged surfaces, and dirty condition. Most ordinary people would toss it aside without a second thought. But experienced collectors know something the average person does not. Sometimes the coins carrying the roughest history hide the strongest treasure energy. And this 1944 wheat penny absolutely carries that feeling. The black spots scattered across the coin, the dark layered reverse side, the aged edges, the dirty historic appearance, all of it combines to create a dramatic vintage personality that instantly separates this coin from ordinary wheat pennies. It looks like a true survivor, a coin that lived through one of the most important periods in modern American history. Because remember, this penny was born during World War II. That alone changes everything. In 1944, America was deeply involved in the war effort. Factories were working non-stop, soldiers were overseas, families were sacrificing daily comforts, and every piece of metal mattered to the country. These pennies circulated during one of the most emotional and intense periods the United States had ever experienced. That gives the 1944 wheat penny incredible historical power. When collectors hold a coin from this era, they are not just holding copper. They are holding a physical piece of wartime America. This specific example stands out because of its dramatic black spotting and dark layered appearance on the reverse side. Instead of appearing flat or lifeless, the coin carries bold historical texture that tells a visual story the second someone sees it. The aged edges strengthen that effect even more. Collectors often describe coins like this as having real history on the surface. Every spot, every dark area, every worn edge becomes part of the coin's identity. And in today's collector market, originality and historic personality are becoming more desirable every year. That trend is exploding right now. Collectors are increasingly searching for coins that feel authentic instead of overpolished or unnaturally cleaned. Coins with strong vintage character often create deeper emotional reactions because they look like true hidden treasures discovered after decades of silence. And this 1944 wheat penny absolutely delivers that feeling. The wheat penny series itself remains one of the most iconic coin collections in American history. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln wheat design became legendary among collectors because of its timeless appearance and powerful connection to early American coinage. But wartime wheat pennies hold a special place in collector hearts, especially 1944 examples. Because these coins symbolize survival, resilience, sacrifice, and American history itself. That growing competition is one reason why many collectors believe strong wheat penny examples will continue increasing in demand over time. And now comes the moment everyone has been waiting for. The current market value for this 1944 wheat penny without mint mark, showing black spots, dark layering on the reverse side, aged edges, and dirty condition, is around $1,900,900, according to the exact value you provided for this described condition in today's market. That is a staggering treasure-level number for a 1-cent coin. An old penny once ignored in circulation has now transformed into a powerful collector prize that many treasure hunters dream about discovering hidden in forgotten jars or inherited family collections. And many experienced collectors believe the wheat penny market is only becoming stronger as surviving vintage examples disappear into long-term collections across the United States. Because the next hidden treasure could already be sitting quietly inside someone's home right now. Here's an important collector tip before today's video ends. Never clean dirty wheat pennies with chemicals or abrasive materials. Many collectors prefer coins with original historic surfaces because those surfaces preserve authenticity and long-term collector character. Once original aging is removed, it can never truly return. Another powerful strategy is learning to inspect reverse side details carefully. Many valuable wheat pennies reveal their most important personality traits on the reverse side through toning, layering, unusual spotting, and edge characteristics that ordinary people completely miss. And with that, today's unbelievable wheat penny countdown comes to an end. But remember this carefully. Hidden treasures are still out there. Rare wheat pennies are still being discovered. And every single day, ordinary people unknowingly pass valuable coins through their hands without realizing the incredible history and collector demand hiding inside them. So, before you spend another penny, check your coins carefully. Because your next wheat penny discovery could be absolutely life-changing.